Look, we all know that closing is the exciting part of the sale. It's where rubber meets the road. It's where deals are won, where targets are made, where the money is made at the end of the day. Here's the thing. Closers cannot succeed without a strong opening. Opening sets the stage. It's essentially the foundation upon which the entire sales process is built. As a closer, I can tell you that a great opener is worth their weight in gold. I'm Digi. I'm the Director of Funding here at Lexington and a member of the Forbes Finance Council. I've seen firsthand really what separates a good opener from truly a great one. And today I'm here to tell you some of the insider secrets that will help you as openers maximize your impact and set your closers up for success. All right, guys, let's dive right in. First thing I want to emphasize is the importance of qualification. Now, here's where you can really make a difference. Uncover the client's timeline and uncover their decision-making process. This information is absolutely pure gold. You need to understand this in order to carry the sale from the start to the finish. It's going to allow your closer to help decide which approach to take and which strategy that they may want to take based on the client's goals, whether they need to get an answer to solve their payroll issue this week, whether they need to implement a system at the end of the month, or maybe they have a long-term one-year goal that they're trying to obtain that isn't necessarily time is of the essence. All three of these different instances, a closer may want to go about differently in order to strategically align the prospect's goals with what we're ultimately looking to accomplish, and that's making the sale. Equally important is really understanding who is involved in making the decision, right? So is it a sole proprietorship where there's one man guiding the ship? Is there a wife involved? Is there a business partner? Is there a brother? Is there a manager that helps make the decisions? These things need to be uncovered as soon as humanly possible, because the last thing you want to hear is at the end of the sale that, hey, I need to talk to the wife about this, right? So if the wife is involved with the decision-making process, we're going to need to know about this as soon as possible, because we want to have the wife or whoever's involved in the decision-making process involved with the sales process. We don't want them to be disengaged with the sales process and help make a decision based off of the end result. They didn't get the full context and the full understanding of why this is the best fit for them in their situation. Essentially, knowing this allows you to tailor your pitch and anticipate potential roadblocks that you can address before they become an issue. And that's half the battle in sales, is helping address issues before they become issues. Think of this as a relay race. You've already done the hard work of running the first leg, gathering the crucial information about the prospect. Now, it's time to pass the baton smoothly to the closer so they can cross the finish line. A sloppy handoff with missing and inaccurate information can completely derail the entire sales process. This is like fumbling the baton. It slows us down and can ultimately cost us the entire race. Now let's talk about building rapport. You're going to be the first point of contact for this borrower, for this prospect, for this potential client. So you get to set the tone for the entire relationship. It's very important to be friendly, to be professional, and you want to maintain a childlike curiosity in order to help your prospects solve their goals. Remember, people buy from people they like and trust. So take the time to build a connection, ask questions, listen attentively, and find common ground. You want to show them that you're not just trying to make a sale, that you're genuinely interested in helping the potential prospect solve the issues that they came to you at hand today. The more that you can make solving their problem your job, the easier your job is going to become. Building rapport is all about creating genuine connection. One of the simplest ways that you can do this is by simply using the prospect's name correctly. With borrowers, time to time, they have unique names that I may not know how to pronounce, so I start the interaction by asking them genuinely how to pronounce their name. I've noticed that this immensely builds huge rapport. because most people will go on and take their best educated guess at how to pronounce their name. And this just shows essentially that you value them as an individual. This shows that you care to respect them. And it's something that seems very little and minute, but it's something that really goes a long way. Another thought is that you want to try to find common ground with your potential prospect, whether it's common hobbies, maybe common sports teams that you may like, maybe it's a common food place that you guys may like. This is anything, something that you guys can find common ground, that you guys can share, that you guys may both enjoy in your own personal lives. Finding this can help develop a human connection, which is needed in order to win a sale. Now, here's a crucial tip that many openers overlook. Introduce the closer or any key person in the process as early as possible. I cannot stress this enough. You don't want to bait and switch the prospects. You don't want to bring them through half of the process for them to find out that they're going to get on the phone with somebody entirely new that they're uncomfortable with, that they feel that they have to start the whole process over. I like to, in the meetings, reiterate this to interactions with Cablevision. When you call Cablevision and you have an issue, you get transferred 6 or 7 times before anybody's able to offer any type of value, right? And by that third or fourth transfer, you're ready to hang up. So I look at this to be similar, that when a prospect is considering purchasing, that this process needs to be spoken about as soon as humanly possible so that they don't feel that they were blindsided, so that they don't feel like they weren't aware of the process and uncomfortable with being introduced to somebody towards the end of the sales process. Instead, you want to try to bring up the closer as early on in the process as possible. You want to mention them by name. And even better, use a title, Mr. or Mrs., to establish the credibility, the expertise. You want to put your closer high up on a throne that this person can help solve your problems. For example, you might say something like, once we've gathered all the initial information, I'll introduce you to Mr. Digi, the Director of Funding, who has helped countless businesses just like yours in this same situation. So this does a couple of things. First, it creates a sense of anticipation and builds the excitement about working with your closer. Second, it's going to show that you're confident in your closer's abilities and that you've committed to providing them with the best possible support. And lastly, it prepares the prospect for the next step in the process so they know what to expect next. Which will lead me directly to my next point, which is setting expectations. You want to let your prospects know what the next steps in the process will be as soon as possible, who they will expect to hear from, when they will expect to hear from them. This helps avoid confusion and builds trust from the very beginning. Nobody likes to be left in the dark. Your prospects deserve to know what's happening each step of the way. So be upfront about the process, explain what they can expect at each step, and give them a clear timeline for when things will happen. For example, after you've gathered some of the initial documentation to start to pre-qualify your prospect, you may want to have an intellectual conversation based on the things that you're seeing. You want to see, for instance, the revenue, how much is coming in, is it coming in consistently? You might want to recap on the affordability in the business's bank balances. You may want to recap on the credit score. You may want to recap on different factors that are going to drive your prospect's loan approval either to be more qualified or less qualified. And you may want to set their expectations accordingly so that they can expect what type of approval they're going to get as soon as humanly possible. Again, the sooner you can set the prospect's expectations for what they may qualify for, the more likely that they'll be willing to hear it out and be willing to possibly purchase it. This level of transparency does wonders for building trust, building rapport. It shows your prospects that you're organized, that you value their time, that you're committed in keeping them informed. And when people feel informed and in control, they're much more likely to stay engaged in the process and give you the answer that you're looking for, the yes. So there you have it. To recap, remember these few takeaways for setting your closers up for success. You want to make sure to remember to qualify your leads, introduce your closer as early on as possible, build rapport, and be as transparent as possible about the entire process. Now, by mastering these few strategies, you'll not only become an invaluable asset to your sales team, but you'll also contribute to the overall success of your company. Now go out there, be the best openers you can be. And don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe if you like this video, and we look forward to giving you a ton more content just like it.